ULTRAKILL is a fast-paced, frenetic first-person shooter that harkens back to the genre's glory days. It's a throwback to when shooters were all about pure, unadulterated action, and it's all better for it. The game's over-the-top violence is cathartic, and the variety of weapons and enemies ensure that there's always something new to shoot at. The levels are well designed and they offer a good challenge, while the boss fights are particularly memorable. The music in the game is also top-notch and really gets you pumped for the action. It was made by one guy in his spare time, and it shows that the independent developer can still make great games. He is the same guy who developed the game itself. The style of the music is great and it helps set the tone for the game. My favorite track is Complete and Utter Destruction of the Sense. The game is not without its flaws. The AI can be a little too aggressive at times, and checkpoint systems are a little too forgiving. I also would like to have seen a little more variety in the enemies. But these are minor quibbles in an otherwise excellent game. If you're a fan of shooters or just want a good old-fashioned action fix, you need to check out ULTRAKILL. The level design in ULTRAKILL is top-notch. Every level is packed with enemies and obstacles. One of the things I really liked about the level design is that there are shortcuts and secret areas to discover, which adds an extra layer of replayability to the game. Overall, ULTRAKILL is a great example of how to do level design right. There's always something new to see, and the levels are well designed. The movement mechanics in ULTRAKILL are fast and fluid. You can wall jump, slide, and dash, and each of these moves feels natural and responsive. The movement is one of the game's strongest points, and it really helps you get into the flow of action. The game's physics are also well done. You can feel the weight of your character as you move, and the enemies have a good sense of weight as well. The Prelude in ULTRAKILL is a great lead up to the main event. It introduces you to the game's mechanics and enemies, and it does a great job of preparing you for the challenges to come. The levels in Prelude take place right before entering Hell. The Prelude is also a great opportunity to get the feel for the game's controls and movement mechanics. By the time you reach the end of Prelude, you'll be prepared for the challenges ahead. During the last level of Prelude, you fight Cerberus, the Guardian of Hell. This is an excellent boss fight that really tests your skills. After finally defeating Cerberus, you move on to Act 1, Infinite Hyperdeath. Act 1 in ULTRAKILL is called Infinite Hyperdeath, and it consists of 3 layers, each containing 4 levels for the exception of the last layer, which only contains 2. This act introduces you to the game's different enemy types, and each layer presents a new challenge to overcome. The first layer is a good introduction to the game, and it eases you into the action. The second layer ramps up the difficulty and pits you against a copy of yourself called V2. Which you politely take the arm off, and the third layer is a true test of your skills. The final boss fight against Gabriel is particularly challenging, and it also is very rewarding. Gabriel, we get a very interesting look into the lore, where we see the Council of Angels critique Gabriel for losing to a machine. This little peek into the story is very emotional. Act 2 in ULTRAKILL is called Imperfect Hatred, and it consists of 3 layers, each containing 4 levels for the exception of the last layer, which only contains 2. During the first layer you come face to face with V2, which now has its arm replaced with a green arm that has a grappling hook. It is now faster, smarter, and poses a bigger challenge than before. After defeating V2 for the second time, you take the green arm, which makes mobility even easier. After moving on to the second layer, you come to fight 2 mini bosses. These are the Ferryman and the Leviathan. The Ferryman is an enemy with high mobility that constantly moves during his first phase, however upon entering his second phase, he slows down and starts using static attacks. The Leviathan is a sea creature that shoots out a blast of red projectiles made of hell energy at the player. It mostly holds its distance for the exception of the swing attack, when it swings its entire body at the player. Defeating the Leviathan, the player is shown a hole created by the now dead Leviathan in the sea, which leads the player to Layer 3 of Act 2, Heresy. The third layer is by far the hardest. with Gabriel being faster and stronger than ever before. The final fight against Gabriel is very challenging, but it's very rewarding.
Machine, I will cut you down, break you apart, splay the gore of your profane form across the stars. I will grind you down until the very sparks cry for mercy. My hands shall relish ending you here and now! Twice, beaten by an object. Twice. I've only known the taste of victory, but this taste is this my blood? I've never known such relief. I need some time to think. We will meet again, machine. May your woes be many, and your days few.
After defeating him, he gives us a speech before murdering the entire Angel Council. Final thoughts. ULTRAKILL is an exhilarating ride from start to finish, and is easily one of the best shooters of recent years. If you're looking for a game to scratch that FPS itch, look no further.